All right, well, where do we begin? Let's start with this. Well, I don't even know. I want to talk about the black journalists. I want to talk about J.D. Vance, and we'll take it from there. Who really? I mean, can we? Okay. It's like, shut up. J.D. Vance, he's another one. How old is he? 40-something years old? And all he does is talk about what other people should be doing. He's a phony. He's a fraud. And he's a scold. Nobody likes a scold. J.D. Vance, especially one who wears eyeliner, for Christ's sakes. But, okay, so here's Traitor Trump with the black journalists.
So my question, sir, now that you are president of the United States, the Republican nominee for president, former President Donald Trump.
I love the reception he gets. Boo. Nobody. Complete silence. Aw, poor baby.
Hi, Mr. Trump. Rachel Scott, BBC. Thank you.
How are you? Look at him. He thinks because he's so not charming. He thinks he's charming, I guess. Oh, they like me, and they'll be nice to me. Never mind the fact that I'm a traitor, a tax cheat, a rapist with classified documents in my bathroom. You know, never mind all of the realities of who he is. He thinks, oh, how are you? He's an infant. This is it's infantilism.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour.
I wish they would stop calling him Mr. President. That's the other thing. And just an aside, when we were talking the week the con man got shot at, has anybody noticed his ear is miraculously healed? I guess it must be because of his good genes. But if he got shot in the ear, he wouldn't have an ear. He didn't get shot in the ear. He got shot at. Something hit him. Did he get scratched? I don't know. Maybe. We haven't seen the medical report. Even though they hound Joe Biden, now they're hounding VP Harris for to take a DNA test. Can you believe these fuckers? And this is what is getting old. And I'm being generous by saying it's getting old. It's old. And young people they're not into it. It doesn't appeal to them. It might appeal to the incels. It will always appeal to a small segment of a very disturbed part of society who need help. But they can't get it. You know, mental health care is out of their reach. In this for-profit health insurance racket, I'm sure a lot of them wouldn't even take it up if they could. Because that takes courage. It takes self-awareness to know that they're miserable, that they're hateful, and being a hateful bigot is no way to spend one's limited lifespan. And it's a indication of how there's something disturbed in them. It's not the people. It's not the outside. It's not anybody else. It's you, you know? So fix it. Do something about it. Get the help you need. But that takes courage. So a courage they don't have. And they consider it weak, even though they're the weakest bitches on the block. Like Donald Trump Jr. You know, they mock Hunter Biden for being an addict. And the compassionate conservatism, right? Hunter Biden has had a lot of trauma in his life. He was in a car accident as a child where his mother and sister died. And his brother died. And he's had a lot of loss. And, you know, he was in the grips of active addiction. And he was honest about it. He's open about it. But you would never see that with Donald Trump Jr. Because, and it made me think I think the last show we were talking where Trader Trump said to his nephew about his nephew's son who has developmental disabilities, and he said, well, wouldn't it be better if he died, it would be better if he died and then you could move to Florida. And he was meeting with disabled kids or developmentally disabled people, and he said, oh, look at these people, they should just die. And all the expense. That's the other thing, which is disgusting. All right.
Your time. I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabid to describe black district attorneys. You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist. You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question in such a horrible manner.
Wow.
First question.
What a
you
baby.
Don't even say, hello,
Aww.
How are you?
Hello.
Are you with ABC?
What did they fucking say when he came out? Nice to see. They shook his fucking disgusting small hand that raped, that helped assault numerous women. Oh, I've never been asked a question like that. What are you going to do when Putin gets a hold of you, baby? You fucking crybaby. What a little crybaby bitch. And this is what these monsters, these maggots want to send back into the halls of power. They want to send that little crybaby bitch. Wah. What if Putin asks you a question? They're always talking about how Joe Biden, what's Putin going to get a hold of him? And he stutters. Oh, I mean, meanwhile, and we know that when Trader Trump was, and the maggots, when Joe Biden dropped out of the race, he was simultaneously negotiating the release of the numerous actual hostages that Putin had illegally, on trumped up charges, taken, kidnapped. Now those are hostages. But Joe Biden, with COVID, is on the phone with leaders of all over the world, negotiating a deal to get American citizens and a green card holder, which I found, I took some measure of pride in, because that's how you treat people, guests in your home, or effectively American citizens. Now, what would Republicans think of that? Oh, they're just a green card holder, not actual citizens. All right, so let's continue with the whiny little baby bitch.
And
look at him.
I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit.
Did you?
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
No, you haven't.
Including
in your mind,
employment, including
opportunity
zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this historically.
What about
colleges,
this is what I'm so sick of him. Shut up. Shut the fuck up and keep shutting up. This is why I'm talking about one of the other shows that we were doing, how they, Democrats need to start crowing about the fact that these maggot states they're the welfare states. And you know what? When we have to endure the goddamn, Democrat Party and all their little baby pejoratives. The Democrats need to say, you know what? All you have to say is thank you because of your poorly run states. Of course, our blue state dollars keep you afloat, but you don't have the manners or the maturity to say thank you, do you? These maggots, they don't understand this. They don't understand that they're living in states that are, their representatives are doing nothing for them. And then the Democrats have to swoop in and fix their infrastructure and make sure that they're not living next to sewers and shit. They had a UN inspector go into these red states, and they said it was worse. The amount of sewage. Yeah, I got to look this up. This was a while ago. It was worse than they had seen in so-called third world countries. Let me see. Sewage. That's what they said. Wait, hold on. Sewage. How do I look this up? Sewage in southern, I guess, states like developing. I remember this. They were saying they've never seen anything like it. Like nobody's ever seen, right? Yes, here we go. In some rural areas in the southern United States, particularly in places like Alabama, Kentucky, residents are facing sewage disposal issues that are reminiscent of conditions in developing nations. Well, I bet you in those rural areas, they got why can't I talk? Bathroom bills. They got to make their priorities, Republicans. They got to make sure that someone going to a public restroom has the appropriate pee-pee. Or maybe some kid who's questioning their sexual orientation, maybe they got to worry if they can go to a public library and read a book with a gay character in it. Because they don't want them to be gay. They want them to hate themselves. And, they want them to be ensconced in the closet. Filled with shame. So when, they can make good Republicans out of them. Yeah, so as a result, residents often rely on septic tanks or resort to what's called straight piping their waste directly into their yards. Isn't that nice? That's your Republicans. That's your poorly run Republican states where sewage looks like you're in some developing nation. So the cost of installing a proper system can exceed $20,000 for an individual for septic systems, which is unaffordable for many low-income households. So, and since their so-called representatives do nothing for them, yeah, oh well, booby, put your sewer, just shit in the yard. Whatever. But the health risks, unfortunately, and then you get it coming and going because when you develop health problems because of the sewage, then you find out you got, you can't make your deductible, copay, co-insurance, you can't in-network, out-of-network. So, yeah, you're on your own. You got to get your GoFundMe going. Hopefully, maybe you know a friend who has some editing skills and could put some nice, viral videos together. But you'll have to compete with the babies with cancer. So I don't know. I don't know if sewage is gonna really crack that the social media barrier. Is gonna go viral. I don't know. When you're dealing with babies with cancer, babies with, limbs missing that need some kind of prosthetic. Those are always heartstrings pullers. So, yeah, health risk, lack of proper sanitation led to resurgence of diseases typically associated with developing countries. This is in the United States. Hookworm, for one. That's nice. In red states. So, you know what? Make hookworm great again. Right? Make polio great again. That's what they're doing. They're bringing back polio. They're bringing back measles. They're rapists. I'm sure some of them are good people, but hookworm have been found in some residents in Louisiana. And this is America. Yeah, battling America's dirty secret. This is from an article in the Washington Post. Yeah. In Alabama, untreated sewage is coursing through this rural community, a consequence of historic government disinvestment, right? There you go. On rainy days, foul, effluent burbles up into bathtubs and sinks and pools in the yard. Some residents have hookworm in America, an illness rarely seen in developed nations. Yeah, ain't that nice? That's your Republicans for you. That's Republican-run government. Hookworm, measles, mumps, rubella. Bring it back. Bring in it all the greatest hits. Well, why not? I mean, we're going back to the Dark Ages with them. Why not bring back all the Dark Age diseases? Well, they just start leeching people. I wouldn't doubt it. I can't, say that they wouldn't do that. And I mean, they do use leeches for some things still, and not just in America, in medicine. I saw some TV show about it, but it's not, you don't bleed somebody when they're sick. You're not trying to balance their humors. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Well, and funny enough, though, the sewage problem in these poorly run red states is exacerbated by climate change. Can you believe it? But it doesn't exist, though. I thought it didn't exist. So that's why I say I'm so tired of these right-wingers, and they need to get credit. Party of personal responsibility. Take credit. Give credit where credit is due. When, Joe Biden talks about the infrastructure bill that we finally passed, make sure the American people know, your poorly run states, if you don't like hookworm, thank a Republican. And, yeah, the plague is coming back, right? The plague is coming back because of these people that don't want to take any kind of, vaccination. Like this fucking idiot on the game I was talking about. What did he say? Something about being vaccinated? Go get some more vaccines. Go get some more vaccines. That's supposed to be an insult. Go get some more vaccines. Wow. This is what we're dealing with, people.